The Tommy Campbell Show. Thanks for tuning back in. I'm Tommy Campbell, still bald, still in my basement, and still laughing at Donald Trump falling asleep during his cognitive decline conflict of interest tour. Maybe he's been taking more cues from Fox News. We see what happens to them there. But more on Sleepy Don in a moment, because I'm just amazed the Biden crime family people are even trying to justify Trump receiving a $400 million plane when George Bush wasn't allowed to keep a dog. Oh, please don't get any ideas, because if you send a canine Trump's way, it's either going to be Christy Nomed or sent to CCOT. Bush received the pup from the leader of Bulgaria. The guy loved dogs, and still it had to be placed with the family because government office holders are banned from accepting gifts from any king, prince, or foreign state without the approval of Congress. Over 2 years ago, I was one of the first shows to do a deep dive on Clarence Thomas accepting luxury trips from billionaire Republican donor Harlan Crow for 2 decades, including regular use of his private plane. And this was borrowing a jet. Trump's taking the whole thing.
Read a lot of the material now out of Saudi Arabia, and Mohammed bin Salman is saying we need a resolution on a Palestinian state. And I don't necessarily recall several years ago, pre-October 7th, as that being a demand that he had necessarily stated publicly. Do you think his position has changed, or do you think the way he has expressed himself has that?
This guy is in national security conversations and he's dozing off. Well, at least if he drifts into an Ivanka dream, he's wearing diapers. Imagine getting to fly around on Air Force One and thinking, it's not good enough. I need a palace in the sky. I do. I need a palace. Subscribe.
It's just kind of something that new came up. I haven't really evaluated a historical concept. I know there's a bigger gift than I think than we've ever gotten before, but I'm sure that we'll run it through the legal course to make sure that it's not going to be something nefarious. Each country is going to try to woo us in different ways. I think this is just an offer of friendship, but I'm sure it'll have to be legal if we're going to accept it.
Do you think it's ethical for the president to accept a $400 million plane from the Qataris, who you just heard in his first term, he accused them of sponsoring terrorism?
I haven't heard that exactly, but I can tell you that if it's unethical, that'll be up to the people to decide. The president to decide, but it's a matter of if it's illegal.
It's up to the president to decide. Yeah, the convicted felon that never paid his workers and created a fake university. That's who will do what's best. We can trust him, right?
The legal details of that are still being worked out, but of course, any donation to this government is always done in full compliance with the law, and we commit ourselves to the utmost transparency, and we will continue to do that.
Do you worry that if they give us something like this, they want something in return?
Absolutely not, because they know President Trump, and they know he only works with the interests of the American public in mind.
Oh, come on. This is the girl that married a wealthy real estate developer over 3 decades older than her, but I'm sure neither of them want anything in return. Love is love, right? Remember in 2018 when Putin gave Trump a soccer ball that had an NFC chip in it? Not going to be hard to put bugs and trackers in a plane. From a security standpoint alone, this is also ridiculous on so many levels, from the possibility of technological infiltration to Trump simply being bought. And if there's anyone that can be bought, it's the guy with the meme coin Ponzi scheme taking untraceable funds. Under U.S. law, foreign gifts valued at less than $480 can be retained by federal employees. Anything over that amount is considered a gift to the people of the United States and must be logged and then disposed of by the White House gift unit. Most gifts are transferred to the National Archives or the president's future presidential library, which acts as an archive of the leader's administration.
There's never been anything like it. It's a very exciting time in America. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Who's in charge of the budget bill while you're gone, sir? Mr. President, are you ready to impose sanctions on Russia if Putin doesn't agree with the 30-day?
I'll sign it, yeah. The right winger trying to sell the story that he didn't forget. He was just so busy and determined. Like, he was off to the next thing. He's putting out fires, man. No, he has dementia like his father. He's in steep cognitive decline, and that's affecting his judgment in many ways. There are things he's doing now that less than 10 years ago he would have thought were a bit too much. If he had a time machine and he saw him now, he would be worried. I made this show without any sponsors thanks to your tips, channel memberships, and merch. Please throw me what you can to keep this show going. Donald Trump's cognitive decline conflict of interest tour goes until the 16th, and he kicked things off in Saudi Arabia, complimenting their big, beautiful towers when their people took down the Twin Towers. 15 of the 19 9/11 hijackers were Saudi nationals, and individuals like Omar al-Bayoumi, suspected of Saudi intelligence ties, provided support to 2 hijackers. While the Saudi government denies involvement, the presence of Saudi nationals among the hijackers and certain individuals' actions have led to ongoing scrutiny. Scrutiny from Charlie Kirk, who posted this. Well, that was before. Now he's just gushing over Trump's visit. One of the oddest moments in Donald's Saudi speech was the usual playing of YMCA at the end. A gay anthem in a country where homosexuality is illegal and punishable under Sharia law, with penalties ranging from flogging, imprisonment, to the death penalty. Hey, maybe that's what Pete Hegseth was texting about. Yes, the president is speaking a few feet from him, and he's either on his group chat, scrolling Saudi Tinder, or Googling how to get booze in Riyadh. Now check out this swipe at Elon Musk.
I mean, I'll tell you a story. A friend of mine who's a businessman, very, very, very top guy. Most of you would have heard of him. A highly neurotic, brilliant businessman, seriously overweight, and he takes the fat shot drug. And he called me up, and he said, President, he calls me, he used to call me Donald, now he calls me President, so that's nice respect. But he's a rough guy, smart guy, very successful, very rich. I wouldn't even know how we would know this, but because he's got comments. President, could I ask you a question? What? I'm in London, and I just paid for this damn fat drug I take. I said, it's not working. He said, I just paid $88, and in New York I pay $1,300. What the hell is going on?
Okay, Space Karen's own AI assistant weighed in when asked about this. It's likely that Trump was referring to Elon Musk in the quoted tweet. Musk has publicly admitted to using weight loss drugs like Ozempic and fits the description of a well-known, brilliant businessman. His international travel supports the price complaint scenario. However, the seriously overweight label doesn't perfectly match Musk's public image, and Trump's storytelling can be exaggerated, leaving some uncertainty. I think the biggest exaggeration here is Donald saying Elon now calls him president. First lady, maybe, but not president.
Well, listen, I'm not a fan of Qatar. I think they have a really disturbing pattern of funding theocratic lunatics who want to murder us, funding Hamas and Hezbollah. And that's a real problem. I also think that the plane poses significant espionage and surveillance problems. So we'll see how this issue plays out. But I certainly have concerns.
It's been a while since I've said this. Okay, I've never said it, but I agree with Ted Cruz. Maybe he's just jealous that he has to fly commercial to Cancun, doesn't have a palace in the sky to entertain Lauren Boebert. Look, they put in a home cinema. We can watch Beetlejuice. Reenact your theater. But he hits a lot of important points, and that's great. See, Calgary's own Ted Cruz doing some good once in a while. Now, speaking of Canada.
No, I think that again, there were some difficult times. I think that Justin Trudeau and the president didn't exactly get along, and Canada kept making it worse and worse with their rhetoric. But now I think that we've had, the prime minister come in and meet with the president and begin a new, closer relationship. And so I'm sure everything will work out fine.
I mean, Donald Trump spent ages calling the prime minister governor, repeatedly said he wants to make Canada a state, and slapped tariffs on their safest and most reliable trading partner. It is so bizarre when someone picks a fight and then complains about the punches. Canada remains elbows up because of Trump's threats, because of Trump's tariffs. Tourism has plummeted. Goods are costing more. But hey, he ended wokeness, right? You sound very vaccinated. Yes. And the only reason you're alive to leave this stupid comment is because your parents vaccinated you. MAGA tears. Am a liberal, Tommy, but I still think you suck. You know, once in a while, there's that player that makes it on the team, and they're out there on the pitch with their shirt on backwards, running in the wrong direction. You're that person. MAGA tears. Hey, dummy, you don't have to be an actual surgeon to be the Surgeon General. Dr. Casey Means loves health, and she will make American healthy. If you think nominating a wellness influencer that cannot even practice medicine will help make America healthy, like, you need mental help. But you don't seem like the type to seek professional assistance. MAGA tears. falling asleep during his cognitive decline tour. Maybe he's just jealous that he has to fly a commercial to Cancun and doesn't have a palace in the sky to entertain Lauren Boebert. Like he didn't have Jason Boebert's No Questions Woodsack off the 36 rebuilt in one of the cabins. But he does hit a lot of it. It's too much. It's too much. Is in national security conversations and he's dozing off. Well, if he drifts into an Ivanka dream, at least he's wearing diapers.
The Tommy Campbell Show is the best political comedy show on YouTube. And I hope you subscribe.